Hello there, friends. I wanted to tell you another story from this special book. Do you remember what it's called? The Bible. The Bible, and this is God's book. Jesus and God gave us this book, and every single story in this book is true. And the story I'm going to tell you today, you're not even going to believe it. It's the coolest story. So there's this one time when Jesus and his disciples were at this place, and it was on like a hillside, and there were tons of people there, like more than 10 people, more than 50 people, more than all the people at your school, more than all the people in the mall, more than all the people at Target. It was 5,000 people, and they were listening to Jesus talk. Jesus was telling them all the things they needed to know. And they wanted to listen to every word that Jesus had to say. Like, if Jesus was in my town talking to me, I would want to stay and listen, right? So they're sitting there and they're listening. But the people started to get tired. They started to get hungry. And they didn't have food with them. And this was back in the Bible times when there wasn't a McDonald's. There wasn't a Chick-fil-A. And they were all getting so hungry and their bellies were hurting. So the disciples were like, Jesus, we've got to send these guys home. We have to send these guys home. Here's a picture that has Jesus talking and tons of people. And there was even more and more and more and more and more people. So the disciples' big idea was, let's just send these guys home and they can go home and eat, right? Makes sense. But Jesus said, no, we can feed these people dinner. And the disciples are like, Jesus, we don't have that much food. We don't have enough food to feed 5,000 people. We didn't even pack a lunch for ourselves. And they're starting to panic a little bit. But Jesus is like, I promise, we can feed these people. So they find a little boy who packed a lunch. His mama probably packed it for him in a basket. And it had fish and bread. The little boy in his lunch basket had 2 fish and 5 breads. That's it. Now, that's probably enough food for the little boy, but not enough food for everyone, right? So Jesus said, start sharing it with the people. And the little boy was willing. He was happy to share his lunch. He was a helper, I think. So the disciples started breaking off the bread and passing out the fish, and it kept multiplying. It was like a miracle. Jesus just kept making the food spread more and more and more till everybody ate. Everybody's bellies were full. And the Bible even says there was food left over. There was still food in the basket left over after all the 5,000 people ate. 5,000 people is a lot of people, guys. So many people. It was a miracle. And Jesus did miracles like this all the time. Things people couldn't believe. He did things that weren't natural. They were just miracles that Jesus could do. He came to the earth to show us that God will always take care of us. God can make something out of nothing. God can give us peace in times of trouble. God can make the fishes and the bread multiply. Jesus did that. Isn't that a cool story? And I know that God can take care of me too, right? And God can take care of you also. Isn't that a cool story? I hope you enjoyed it.